Hello YouTube and welcome back to Let's Play Dungeon Defenders. This is the episode where we go to my least favorite level, and I will probably always say that this is my least favorite level every time I go here. Alright, so in addition to it being my least favorite level, it's also the 9th level, which means that now the treasure chests give us 100 mana instead of 70 or 40, because, you know, it's getting harder, so we need more mana. Alright, so if you look at the map, there's, let's see, 6 or 7 doors, yeah, 7 doors, that the enemies will be coming through. 3 up here, that one, the enemies will go left or right, and then come down here to join these enemies, coming down these staircase, or this staircase. So, for right now, I'm going to put a magic missile tower here, and, yeah, I'll put a little magic blockade, just to give a little bit of help. Then go right around to this side and do the same thing, because they're pretty much symmetrical, I think. Well, nah, almost. But won't make too much of a difference because this is still just the first wave. So there's, even though it says wave 3, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Here, it's only 3 enemies, so I'm not even going to use a magic blockade. Just gonna throw down a magic missile tower. Alright, get some more mana. And also, as you might be able to tell, there are 3 crystals instead of 2. But again, it doesn't make too much of a difference. And there's only 1 enemy here. Ridiculous. So just that 1 magic missile tower. First wave is always really easy, because they give you only a few enemies, just to let you know where the enemies come from, and where you need to start setting up your defenses, and all that stuff. Alright. This is the last treasure chest. Don't forget to get this one, because occasionally I do forget, just because it's way off in the distance. And I always like, climbing up on this thing, just for the fun of it. I almost feel like you're not supposed to be up here, but it's always a nice thing to do, even though it pretty much serves no purpose whatsoever. Alright, so now that I've put a reasonable amount of defenses, or just for the first wave here, I'm actually going to sell this one, because sure, there's only 1 goblin right there, right now, so I really don't need too much of a defense, but I do know that there will be more enemies coming soon, and I'd just like to put that defense there. Then also, I'm going to put that here, and I think that's going to be it. Yeah, so that should be good for now. Shouldn't be too many enemies, and my defenses should be good enough. But just for the fun of it, I'm going to go in and attack stuff. Just, like I said, for the fun of it, because I'm bored. Or just because the first wave always goes pretty slow. The enemies will be moving kind of slow and all that. So, see, and this weapon is actually pretty strong when you charge it up. Nice. I've never really been good at using an Apprentice as a damage dealer as far as his actual attacks, but apparently this weapon is pretty good at this point. Alright, so that, and then place another fireball tower here, and get this 100 mana, and place down a lightning tower. Alright, so it's always nice to pair up fireball towers with lightning towers, because obviously they cover their elemental weakness, or I guess you could call it an elemental weakness. Where am I going? And there's also a treasure chest up there that always responds, so always remember to get that one as well. It's always easy to remember the ones on the side because you're probably going to be focusing on those side defenses more often, but always nice to remember that you do have 400 mana to work with each wave. So, and I always try to put as close to the fireball tower as I can, just because I want it to be able to have its range as close to the fireball turret's range as possible, so that there's not too many enemies that are fire resistant, that are just walking really close to my defenses and able to do a lot of damage or anything. And I'm not going to worry too much about that backside, where the 2 magic missile towers are, because the enemies there aren't too strong, and I can probably just get rid of them with my own attacks anyways. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I could probably put a couple magic blockades for them, but I'm actually going to put a fireball tower here. I'm actually going to put it a little farther back, just because there's a mage right there, a dark elf mage, so he's probably going to be sending out his skeletons. Alright, just checking on this side to make sure that they're actually doing okay. He's going to be sending out his skeletons, and if he's behind the wall, then he's probably not going to get hurt while his skeletons die, and you know the deal. So, always give the mages a bit of room, so that there's actually some area where the defense can get him and he won't just hide away. Alright, so that one's pretty quick. And just wait for that archer up there. And let's see, put another fireball tower there. And I'm thinking I might just put 1 lightning tower in there, or like behind it, so that that 1 lightning tower will hopefully have enough range to cover both. Yeah, that works. Don't want to spend too much mana in one place. Alright, now let's see. Alright, what was I doing? This should be good for now, but also you can see that the goblins are now red, because they are leveled up and stronger and more dangerous and all that. Now, there will also be 2 wyverns coming this wave, which is something else that I don't like about this stage. There's wyverns, and I never like wyverns. Occasionally they don't really pose much of a threat, but in this stage in particular, I never really pay too much attention to where the wyverns are coming from. I just know that most of the time they target these 2 crystals, or the 2 crystals that are on the side, because obviously I said these 2 when I was just looking at 1. So what I do is just use a magic missile tower, or 4 magic missile towers, and point them, or put them as close to the crystal as you can, even though the game doesn't let you put them too close, and then just point them at the crystal. That way, no matter which way that the wyverns are coming from, because they don't just like spawn at the middle where the billboard is, they just spawn somewhere off the screen, or off the map. But anyways, this way, no matter which direction the wyverns are coming from, at least 1 of the magic missile towers will be able to aim at it, and their range is good enough that it won't have to actually be attacking the crystal yet for the magic missile tower to get it. But even if they do actually start attacking the magic missile tower, then all 4 of them can attack. Alright, so now that's covered. Still 1 more chest of mana to get. Alright. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. How much mana do I have? I have 268. That's enough for 3 fireball turrets. Alright, so I'm going to put them, actually, down here. Or should I put something else? Nah. Or yeah, actually, let's see. I'm going to put a deadly striker tower way back here and point it at both of them, both openings. But really I'm going to focus on that side because, as you might have guessed, there's an ogre that's going to come through there eventually, not this wave, but there will, like I just said, will eventually be an ogre, and you gotta make sure that you cover that side first, or cover it well. I'm actually going to stand here and wait to see where the wyverns come from. There's only going to be 2, so okay. You can see on the mini-map that they're coming from over here. And now they're behind that building. Okay, so coming from that direction. That's interesting. Yeah, and they're pretty weak. So my magic missile towers were able to get them. But now let's take a look at these other defenses and see how well they're doing. Seems to be doing alright. Fireball tower has good enough range and good enough damage to just take down most of the enemies. And then any that are fire resistant, the lightning tower is good enough to get. Right, where else? Okay, another thing that I don't like about this stage is that occasionally you'll defeat all the enemies on the stage, or on the map, and you just have to wait. And eventually some more enemies will appear, and they just come from like random spots. So, I don't know, just gotta wait for it. See, why does it take so long? I'm guessing they expect you to still be fighting the enemies, and they want to give you some time before they throw in some more enemies. But, seriously, come on, where are they? Like, where? There they are. There's some goblins, random goblins coming in from that door. And some more enemies on the right side. And then a couple of orcs, and I think that should be it. And I'm actually going to throw down another Deadly Striker Tower, just because I really don't want this Ogre to do too much damage. And another Deadly Striker Tower, because I really don't want this Ogre to do too much damage, because that Fireball Tower is pretty much, and the Lightning Tower is pretty much the only defense other than these now Deadly Striker Towers to take care of things. And oh, look, the Ogre. Alright, and just upgrade this, blah blah blah. Okay, I really need to get something to increase their health, even though they really haven't been taking any damage. So yeah, maybe I don't. Alright, so now it's only wave 6, which there is something that I remember from the last time I was here as a squire that I need to take care of. And again, last time when I was playing as the squire, I didn't really have much trouble with this side, but I do know that basically every other time I've played this level, on either the 6th wave or the 7th wave, there's just been a massive increase in mages on that side. So I'm just gonna place a bunch of towers here and hope that I don't have a problem with it anymore, because whenever there's so many mages, then they're constantly healing and spawning skeletal minions, and then just getting in the way and resurrecting their units and all this nonsense that just makes it really difficult. And on occasion, there will be just a giant mass or crowd of skeletons, and then I can't like attack through them, and then the mages just sort of destroy my defenses on this side, and there's like this big panic as I'm trying to take care of this side. It's just really ridiculous. But then the last time I was here as the squire, I guess because the harpoon turrets have that pierce, then it really wasn't a problem that time. But I don't know if I actually did something different that time. And I'm looking at the Ogre. Yeah, he went down pretty quick. But I'm not sure if it was actually something that I did differently that time, or maybe the game was just being mean to me to make me seem like I was crazy by not giving you guys proof that these things really are dangerous. And I would think that the Lightning Tower would be helpful, but because there's so many skeletons, I think the Lightning Tower can't chain to enough enemies to actually get all of the mages, which is why I'm putting so many Fireball Towers, just because of that splash damage, to get a lot more of them. And that seemed to work pretty well. But again, we get to a point where it's going to be a whole bunch of enemies that are just waiting. Why? And I could have gotten more mana. But, really my defenses are pretty good at the moment. Not like a bragging they're pretty good, but I mean like they're sufficient. So yeah. Although, what I do remember from last time I was here as a squire, actually I'm going to look at the map still to make sure that no enemies are causing too much of a problem. And oh look, a Dark Elf Warrior! Attack, attack, attack. Okay, he's gone. Up on the top, they should be doing okay. Yeah, they're fine. Okay, So what I do remember from the last time when I was playing as Squire is that while I had the 4 magic missile towers, or the 4 harpoon turrets, set up around that crystal, or the 2 crystals, the wyverns on the final wave attack this crystal, which I never remembered to put defenses around, and I already maxed out my defense units, and I don't want to move anything because everything's in a pretty good position. So I'm just going to stand here and defend them by myself, which will kind of make me lose the achievement-y type thing for only having my defenses attack, but I kind of did that with the Dark Elf Warrior too, because I just attacked him. Alright, so I probably should have repaired or upgraded something, but instead I'm just going to look at the minimap to give myself a little bit of a heads up. Well, nah, I can just look around to look for the wyverns. I'm sure I'll have enough time to see them before they actually get to me, and there they are. And what I like about the Apprentice is that he does have long-range attacks, which is good for getting rid of wyverns. And got rid of 1. And 2 down. 3rd one down, and it's just 1 more, and that should be good. The rest of the wyverns should be going towards the other towers, or the other crystals, and my defenses should be good enough. So here, again, just making sure, because I kind of saw a big bunch of them, and okay, just also double checking on the Ogre going down. Alright, now there was a pretty huge mass of skeletons and mages and everything, but I think they might be doing okay, because the mages are doing a pretty good job of staying out of the range of my attacks, but they did not do a good enough job. So that's it for them. And again, we just have to wait for more enemies. Also, be careful. This is not something you can stand on. Or at least I don't think it is, and I don't want to check, because many times I have fallen in there and died, and it's just so frustrating, because it's like, come on, it looks like you could stand on that. But you can't. You just fall right through. You can't stand on the trees. That's fun. And I think you can stand up here, or as the summoner you can get up there, I think. It's a pretty fun glitch bug thing. Alright, so there's 1 more warrior there, and then there should be 9 more enemies somewhere else. 3 kobolds from there, 3 kobolds from the top. I almost wish there was another ogre, just so I could watch it be destroyed by my defenses. Alright. So that was it for this level. It's actually pretty easy. It's usually not the difficulty that I have a problem with for my least favorite levels. It's usually just how it's supposed to be symmetrical, but the enemy distribution is just all wrong. Alright, so I leveled up twice, so I was able to put in 8 points instead of 4. And I'm now at level 26, which is not necessarily significant at all in any way, but... Alright, let's see, what are these? Are they any good? Yeah, I'll take them. Alright. So that's it for this episode. It's pretty easy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.